I think social media doesn't help at the moment. I think the body image, I think I must post it once a week on the Win the Morning, Win the Day Instagram account. You know, social media isn't real. For me, social media is a massive negative towards sort of body imaging, especially for males.
I use social media for a positive, as we all do, you know, in campaign building and stuff like that. But this preconception of like reality versus, you know, this fake world that we create is that I could put up a picture of me with my tattoos in my house and go, yeah, it's all fine. Look at me, get tattoos. It's all wonderful. And create this false perception that that's all right. But it's not.
I was really surprised when Andrew Flintoff came out and said he had.
Yeah.
It was because it just didn't occur to me about him, but also it was back to the unconscious bias and our preconceptions. It's kind of like, how does that work?
Yeah.
And then you kind of rationally think, well, of course it works like that. Why wouldn't he have? But I think just the fact that he came out and said, I have bulimia, this is an issue. Actually, I think a lot of blokes will think, oh, right, I can talk about it now, can't I? Because he's talked about it.
I've come to realise that I have an eating disorder to this day, and I've had it for a number of years. And it's an interesting one because I've kind of just accepted it for being what it is. So Duke, for example, there'd be times when I'd come and meet you at Portsmouth Football Club and you'd offer me a biscuit. I can remember these vividly, and I'd be like, no, because for me to take a biscuit off a plate with a cup of tea is a huge issue. Huge issue for me to eat a biscuit because of what that's going to do to my body image, what that's going to do, what that effect's going to have on me. And for years and years, I just accepted that you're watching your diet, or you're being sensible of what you eat. But actually what I've come to realise is it dictates my life. It dictates my life by just having a biscuit or 2 biscuits or 3 biscuits. You know, and I think this is what men, you know, that's a big thing for me to overcome and understand, and you know, it's something to work on. But I think we've come to a point where we just accept, you know, food shouldn't be the driver of your life. It shouldn't be the thing that dictates pretty much every waking minute of your day. Can I have a biscuit? Can I not? If I have that biscuit, what have I got to do to overcome that biscuit?
For me as well, though, there's the dysmorphic part of eating disorders, because there's eating relationships, and you know, and perhaps Ian, you know, that's it. The control factor, the worry factor, the anxiety factor, but the dysmorphia is an odd one, and it's really akin to is like addiction and stuff like that. And I'm very aware I'm someone that is probably got quite an addictive personality, as you can imagine, looking at me.
Yeah.
And body dysmorphia is so odd because it alters actual reality. So I used to stretch my ears, as gross as that may seem, and as bonkers as it seems now as a 30-year-old man to kind of sit back and go, bloody hell, I did that to myself. But like my ears, like I used to stretch them, and I used to look in the mirror and be like, they're too small, they need to be bigger. Same with tattoos. I used to be like, I haven't got loads of tattoos. I haven't got loads of tattoos at all. And I still, to this day, also walk past a mirror reflection and go, oh, bloody hell, like I have got quite a lot, and it looks quite extreme. And like, it's just about catching yourself and understanding that your mind can play those tricks on you.
I think if we can all think back if everyone who was fortunate to have a dad, your dad was out, he's working, he'd come in. My dad was on the building game. You know, he had hands like shovels, and your mum was at home cooking and cleaning. You know, that I'm not talking for everyone here, but I think a lot of us in the age groups that we got, that's how we were brought up. That's how our generation and above us have all been brought up.
If I'm looking in the mirror and I'm thinking I'm fat, and you're standing next to me going, no, you're not, then I'm going to believe me over you.
Yeah.
And if I think that you're asking me to do something which is going to make me look even fatter, then I'm not going to want to do that if that's such an important part of my life. And it is really tough. And like you said, it has that massive effect on your life. You know, it stops you doing things, it stops you eating biscuits, and in some cases, you know, it stops you going places. If your friends invite you out for dinner, you're not going to go if you think that, you know, I'm either going to have to explain why I'm not eating or I'm going to have to eat.
There's a guy that I do he's a mental health advocate as well, and he does a lot of positive stuff on social media. He's also a cage fighter, heavily tattooed cage fighter, and he sits there and he says, if I need people to listen to what I'm saying, I need to post a black and white picture of me topless for people to recognise my post to then get the message underneath. So if I just do a post based on something else, they'll skim over it. But when I'm topless in a black and white photo, my muscles out, they'll read it, they'll see what it is. It's like a sad state of affairs, but that's what I need to do to catch people's attention.
When we talk about, is this anxiety, is this depression, is it bipolar? Who cares? Who actually cares? Okay, we do need to signpost. We need to signpost to say, we need to give you CBT, medication, speak it to the NHS prescribers and see which avenue. But actually, it's not, anxiety is not one thing. So your anxiety might be totally different to mine or that person's.
Totally.
So I think we need to take a little step back and go, everyone's got their own map of the world and just respect it.